We are in the splash zone.
Hey guys, it's Larry Greenberg. Today we're going to take a look at the LifeProof case for the iPhone 4. Now I've had the LifeProof case for quite some time, but I wanted to make sure I had a chance to put it through a series of what we'll call rigorous tests before I showed you it up close in a review. I've had a chance to do so and I'm ready to show it to you all now. So before we get into the case itself, let me give you the details. This case sells for $69.95. It's available in 4 colors: black, white, pink, and purple, and it protects your iPhone 4 from what the company calls 4 different proofs. This case is waterproof, snowproof, dirtproof, and shockproof. Now there are a lot of what we'll call ultra protective cases for your iPhone 4, but none as protective as the LifeProof. Many of those cases, the other cases out there, are shockproof, perhaps even dirtproof, but they don't add the waterproof feature in there. And for me, that's kind of the big bonus to this case. I went swimming with this case, I dunked it, and I'm going to show you tons of different things I did with it at the end of the video, but I walked away super impressed with the LifeProof case. So enough of that, let's get into the packaging and I'm going to show you what this case is all about. I'm going to slide it back open. I've obviously put it all back together in the retail box so you can see what it looks like. There are some instructions in here on how to go about placing the case on your phone and removing it and testing it and all that good stuff. It does come with a little cleaning cloth. It's very important, they say, before you put your phone into the case that you clean it thoroughly. You don't want any dust or debris inside or around your phone because that could affect the waterproof seal. So before you even use your LifeProof case with your iPhone 4, the first thing you'll need to do is do a water test. And that is basically putting the case together without your phone inside and then submerging it in water. I left it for up to an hour to see if any water gets inside the case. If after an hour, when you open it back up, there's no water inside, you're good to go. I was super nervous, I have to tell you, even after doing the test, about putting my iPhone 4 in here and then going swimming. But, you know, my iPhone worked perfectly, as you'll see from the video at the end. So I did all that first. Let me remove the little insert that's in here. Again, there's more instructions and stuff on assembly. All the information about assembly and water testing and all that is available on some really great videos via the LifeProof website. Basically, the case is 2 pieces as I'm showing you here. I know it's going to sound corny, but it kind of reminds me of a Tupperware container. That's kind of how the case goes together. You know, it may not be the most glamorous looking case in the world, but it does exactly what it says it's going to do, and for me, that's the most important thing. There's probably not a lot of people that will use this case as an everyday case, but on specific applications, it works, again, exactly as it says it's going to do. I took this case to Maine for a week. I rocked it for the whole week, and I was fine with it. I took it for a full day at Hershey Park in the water park. It was perfect. Again, the right tool for the right job. I used this case when I needed it and it performed perfectly. So to install your iPhone 4 into the case itself, you start with the front piece first. Now it has this little kind of screw-in thing that goes into the headset jack. You're going to want to make sure that that's open all the way before you place your iPhone in there. So once you get that open, you start at the top. You place your iPhone in there so that the headset jack lines up with that little nub right there, and then you simply press your iPhone 4 down into place. Once that's in there, you can then close this. You can see if I show you up close, there's a little gasket there, a little yellow gasket. You can close this nice and tight, and that actually seals up the headset jack port. So keep turning it until it's all the way tight. You want to, before you add the back cover on, you want to take note to make sure, again, there's no dirt or debris or anything along this edge, because that could interact with the watertight seal. This is the back piece. You can see it has another one of these yellow gaskets going along here. Again, Again, you want to examine it to make sure there's no hair or sand or dirt on the gasket, which could again compromise the watertight seal. Once you're sure everything's good to go, you simply snap this onto the back of your phone. Again, this is kind of where the Tupperware analogy comes in. I know that's kind of a bad analogy, but it does remind me of snapping Tupperware together, or like a Ziploc bag. So once you get everything clicked into place, the only other remaining piece is the piece that covers the 30-pin connector. Before I close it, I just want to show you that you can charge and sync your iPhone 4 while it's in this case via a cable. Of course, you can't dock it, but if you need to, you can get a cable in there, charge. I will note that only the Apple-sized cables fit in here, only the OEM-sized cables. So any kind of like bigger cable definitely will not fit inside here. You have to stick with the original Apple cable. Now, I did use some third-party ones that are the exact same size, so that's not to say you can't use third-party ones, but they have to be the smaller cable to fit inside. Again, once you're all good to go, simply snap this piece closed, and now my iPhone is fully protected inside the LifeProof. Nothing will get in here. Water, sand, dirt, snow, ice, everything is going to stay away from my iPhone 4. Every nook and cranny is protected. I just noticed here at the top, you want to make sure obviously that everything is snapped in. See, I didn't have it fully snapped, so now it's all together. Obviously you're going to do that several times just to make sure that you have everything seated. I was doing it like all day long before I put my iPhone 4 in areas where there were water. So let's just take a look around the case before I tell you some of the things I did with it. Again, you have these little, I call them cutouts for the speaker and the mic, because you can still use your phone while it's in here. That's one of the most important things about the case. It's one of the slimmest cases that's waterproof and protective, and it still allows you to use your phone. So you can make calls, you can listen to music. The sound is slightly muffled, but it's nothing that I think degrades it or prevents you from using it at all. So the screen does have a built-in screen protector. They say that you should remove your screen protector that you have on your iPhone 4. I did not do so. I left it on. It still works fine. The screen protector is a little bit hard to work with, but you get used to it. I would say that because number one, it's a little bit on the thick side, and number two, there's a little bit of space in between where the screen protector is and where your phone's glass is. So you'll find it a little bit cushy feeling. I personally didn't mind it. I had other people pick up the phone and go, oh God, how do you use that? But I didn't mind it at all. You can swipe, you can tap, you can pinch to zoom, do anything you would normally do on your phone just fine through this screen shield. On the side here, you'll see the volume buttons have little nubs. They work just fine. You can even access the vibrate switch, although you have to take note, it's actually reversed. So normally when you go backwards, you put your phone in vibrate. In that orientation or with this switch, when you go backwards, it flips it into the audio mode. Then when you go forwards or to the left, or however you want to call it, it flips it into vibrate. So you can still put your phone in vibrate. So you can see I'm in vibrate now. If I push back, I'm now in audio. The other way, I'm back in vibrate. Again, the headset jack is covered, but you do have this little cutout, or it's not really a cutout obviously because it's still protected, but for the secondary mic, so you can still use that. And then there is a covering for the sleep awake button. Still gives you a nice amount of feedback when you press it. It's a little bit on the smaller side, but again, not a big deal. You can still get through it just fine. The other thing to note on the front, it's got these clear kind of coverings for everything on the top portion of the phone, the speaker, the proximity sensor, and the front-facing camera. Everything there works as advertised, just like you were using your regular phone. On the back, there is obviously a cutout that's covered for the camera. I took tons of pictures. If you follow me on Twitter, when I was in Hershey Park, you saw all the pictures I was posting, all taken with this. Kind of have to make sure if it's underwater or around water that you wipe the excess water away, but pictures are just fine. No issues with flashback either, thanks to this black ring around the camera portion. You can see on the back the LifeProof logo kind of embossed there with the 4 proofs there, and then kind of a raised edge. The case gives you really nice grip. Feels good in the hand. Again, it's remarkably slim and small for such a powerful case. The other thing they include in the case is this headset adapter. So if you have waterproof headphones, you can take this, unscrew this piece, and it actually comes out all the way. So you would unscrew it obviously before you go in the water, take this headphone piece, and then place it all the way into your phone and then screw this down. Now this is actually keeping the water out, and then you'd be able to plug your waterproof headphones in here. They give you this other little piece as a keeper for the piece that goes into the phone when you're not using it, and they include a second one in there as well. So if you remove that and you want to, make sure you don't lose it because it's so small, they give you that little keeper to place that into. When you're done using your headphones, unscrew this and then place the original piece back in. Again, you're going to want to have waterproof headphones if you use that feature, more than likely, just because other headphones would get damaged. If you're at the beach maybe and you've got an old pair that you want to rock with this, you certainly could. You just won't want to get them wet or they'll get ruined. So there I've got the original piece back on. So when it comes time to remove this, it's pretty easy. You flip the bottom piece over like that and then simply kind of pop it apart. They give you a little pressure point right here that you can use to pry it open. You just want to be careful as you go around that you do it slowly so that you don't crack it or break it. Once it's all apart, you have to kind of pry your iPhone out, and you want to again be careful because the screen shield could break if you're not too careful. It's not too difficult to get out. You just have to kind of get a pressure point and then it pops out. So you don't want to be taking it apart and putting it together too often. There is a limited number of, recommended times that you can open and close this case, only because, every time you do so, the seal gets slightly degraded. And that's why I say it's not really an everyday case. For me, it's a case to use on an as-needed basis, and one that, I use when I know I'm going to be around water, but not on an everyday basis. So what did I do with this case? You'll see at the end of the video, I took it swimming. I used it for a week in Maine while I was in the mountains, hiking around the lake. I dropped it. Actually, I've never dropped my iPhone 4. Funny enough, when I was at Hershey Park, I put it down in the locker room while I was changing in the water park underneath my towel, and I grabbed my towel forgetting my phone was under there. This came sliding off the bench right onto the hard tile floor. I have a feeling if it was in any other case, my phone would have been damaged, but it was completely fine, no issues whatsoever. I had it in and out of the water all day there, and you'll see in the video at the end of this that my phone performed amazingly. You can't even tell, obviously, that it was in water, and it's working fine ever since. So I've gone on a lot about the LifeProof case. Hopefully I've impressed upon you just how impressed I am with it. Again, not a case that I will use every day, but certainly a case that I'll be putting on when I know I'm going to be in kind of dangerous ground, going to the beach, out in the snow, near water, things like that. This will definitely be my go-to case for those situations, and I think it should probably be yours too if you're in and around those and you have an iPhone 4 as well. So that is a quick look, quote-unquote quick, at the LifeProof case for the iPhone 4. Be sure to stick around at the end of this video for more content or more examples of where I use the LifeProof. If you have any questions about it, you can always drop me a line. Otherwise, you have a great day.
Welcome to the Intercoastal Waterway. The waterway is a...
We're in the wave pool. Can't see any of the waves though.